Today we're going to be talking about Lorcana's first Illumineer's quest, Deep Trouble. Now before we get into this, I want to talk a little bit about why I picked this up. So I was looking for a card game that I could play solo or with a friend in a cooperative manner. So some friends just don't like doing the whole 1 versus 1 battle, I beat you. They want to work together to come and defeat a common foe. And this does exactly that. But is it worth the cost of $60? And is it even fun? So this is not going to be an unboxing video because there's tons of them out there. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is what is the actual theme that's going on? Because lore, themes, all that stuff adds so much to a card game. So reading from the back, free Lorcana from Ursula's grasp. With unprecedented power, an Ursula Glimmer has unleashed her wrath across the realm of Lorcana. It's up to you and your fellow Illumineers to band together using your Disney Lorcana decks and defeat the Sea Witch once and for all. So now that we're caught up on what the theme is here, and I think it's going to be great, there's going to be so many other themes coming out, they can turn anyone into a villain. That is the beauty of Lorcana. These glimmers are not canon in the show or anything like that. They could be anything. It could be a villain that turns good, a good person that turns, you know, bad, side characters that rise up and become great villains. Lorcana is just... the setting is just amazing with all the stuff that they can do. So let's take a look at roughly what comes in here, because that's important. We want to know if this is worth $60. So what you're going to get is you are going to get 3 decks. You're going to get 2 playable decks, 1 deck for Ursula, which the difference being it has a gold backing. That's how you'll know. Also, the cards look slightly different, so in how it's laid out. As far as the bottom, it just looks like underwater kind of type stuff. So there's no way you can mix these up. These are not playable in regular decks either, so you can't grab these cards and mix them with a tournament deck. It's just not how it works. You get 1 Ursula card, which is a great collector card. It's on the jumbo size, so you're going to have to get some special sleeves for it. You get your regular cardboard counters. Nothing new there. And then there is a playmat underneath. It's just a fold-out cardboard one that they always do. Helps you with the steps on how to control the Ursula deck, how to place things. And I want to note that these 2 decks right here are playable on their own. So if you do end up buying this set, you know, maybe you're buying it as a gift for somebody that's starting out. This could be a good route to go because it gets a deck for them, a deck for their friend, and also if they don't have anyone to play with, they can battle against Ursula. The only issue is, if you are getting this as a gift, it's not a complete package because it doesn't have all the Lorcana rules. They give you a pamphlet on how to control the Ursula deck, but it does not walk you through all the basics of Lorcana. Luckily, it's an easy fix. You just scan that QR code, go on their website, get the actual rules. So keep that in mind if you're giving this as a gift. It is not meant to be a standalone, you know, hold your hand type, this is how you play. A regular starter deck actually has the rules and does a better job. You also get this promotional Ursula pack. I have not opened it, and I don't know if I plan on opening it. Other people have, so I know what's inside of it. But I'm going to save that, and I urge you that if you do pick up this set, don't open it until you beat this on extreme mode. But speaking of modes, as far as how hard this deck can be, if we look at these cards we have, they're double-sided, and these are your difficulty cards, let's say. They call them battlegrounds, but for example, if you're playing on easy mode, it changes the game slightly. It lets you get rid of some lore to do some of these effects, and it gets slowly harder and harder. You go to the normal difficulty, then you get to the hard difficulty, Then you go to the extreme difficulty, which I haven't beat. It's really hard, but it does give you this replayability, which everyone's gonna like. If you spend $60, you don't want to just go in, beat Ursula all the way up to extreme, and then, well, that's it, I'm done. You don't want that, and they made it very difficult. Very difficult for you to beat this deck. Let's talk about the other decks that they give you as far as value and fun. These are some pretty fun decks. I played it a couple times against a friend, couple against Ursula, and within these decks, they do come with some cards from the next set. So if you look at Mulan here, that is from set 4, if you see down there. And there are quite a few mixed in, but the decks are is a mix of all the sets. 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of 4. Is it worth it? Does that raise the value? Does that make you want to get it more? I would say not really. Those cards are going to come out anyways. So if you're in a rush to get your hands on the newest cards, when another Illumineer quest comes out, sure, go ahead and get it. But when you think of the value, it's not really worth it. Because these cards are going to be no different than the other cards, from my understanding. And a lot of these you'll already have. So that's why I am on the kind of the fence of the value on this. So let's talk about who this is for, and is $60 a fair price point? So let's talk about the collector aspect. Let's say you are a collector. If you are a sealed collector, then yeah, you have to get this. Look at that box. The box art, how it shines, just everything about it. If you are a sealed collector, pick this up. $60, a little steep for something that's going to sit on the shelf, but for the box, and I'm also talking about MSRP, you can get these cheaper. They're not selling out everywhere, and I think the reason is there's not much collectability in this. You just need to buy one and you have everything. You do get just the paper tokens and everything. You get the Ursula card, but when it comes to a collector that wants to open things up, maybe they want to display stuff. For a card collector, this isn't bad. Throw this in a sleeve, and you'll have a nice card in your binder. But for the person that likes little knickknacks and things, I think they could have done a better job, because that Ursula card doesn't do anything. It doesn't. It doesn't have any rules on it. It just has a picture and a name. I think they could have got away with having like a little miniature. A little Ursula miniature in place of that. I think that they should have got maybe some heavier duty plastic or some sort of better token than these included. If it had a play mat, it'd be even better. This is going to get dirty and nasty. Once you play a couple times, you don't even need that play mat. But I think it'd be cool if they included just an Ursula themed under the sea type playmat. The decks are fine. The Ursula deck is fine as far as value goes. I just wish they would have added a little more exclusive stuff. So is it worth $60? No. No, it is not worth $60. The stuff that they give you is it's just not there. I would much rather have a small, kind of like how they have the starter decks, and just have the cards, just have the Ursula deck with an Ursula card. I don't need the extra stuff. No, I really don't. This isn't meant for, someone starting out, so people have decks already. They could lower the price point so much by having just the Ursula deck, the card, and your, I'm going to call it treasure pack. So why didn't they go that route? Because they're giving us a lot of stuff that doesn't really matter. You're not going to take these decks to a tournament. It doesn't matter. So it's not worth $60. I don't think you should buy it for $60. Wait for it to drop. I've seen them for $50 already. Hopefully they can get around the 40 range, and the company will realize that, hey, this is overpriced for what you're getting. Moving on to the next type of person this could be for. This could be for a person that likes playing solo games. And in that case, I think this is worth the money for the experience, Because trust me, you're going to play either these decks or you're going to go solo or you're going to bring your deck, and it's just not going to work. You have to craft your deck, especially if you're going to be playing on extreme mode. You have to craft your deck according to be able to beat Ursula. So, for example, some of these cards that we have are the Crushing Wave, for example. Deal 2 damage to each opposing character. This comes up quite a bit, and I was playing... The first time I played it, I had a deck with a bunch of, you know, small characters. They all died every single turn. You have that. Tentacle Swipe. Deal 1 damage to all opposing characters. Each opponent loses 3 lore. They are so overpowered, and they play things so fast. And I know what you're wondering, for someone that hasn't seen the gameplay or anything like that. The deck is automated in a sense of... they draw a certain amount of cards. The more difficult you do, the more cards that she'll draw. If they can't play any of the cards because there's no ink, it goes straight in the inkwell. So you can't play any of these, they just go in the inkwell. The next turn comes, draws more cards. You look at them, and okay, I can't play this. This goes in the inkwell. I can play this. There's no tapping of any ink or anything. It just goes straight out. And you continue that as it goes. I can't play Captain Hook. Cost 5. I have 4 down. Putting that into ink. And then I play this. And then every turn, it says resolve from left to right. So Mad Hatter would quest. This would tap to draw a card. And so on and so forth. If something has to attack you, the player gets to choose who it's attacking, and it's really on autopilot. So it's a fun little thing if you want to test out some decks, or just think of it as it's a boss battle, and I really like that. If you play with 2 people cooperatively, you both can use effects on each other to boost the cards, do certain things, but both of you have to reach 20 lore to win. If one person reaches it, it still keeps going until the other person gets 20. Ursula ultimately just has to get 40 lore, and she wins, and it comes very quick. So if you are a player that likes playing alone or in a cooperative setting, then this overall product is for you. You should go ahead and pick it up. But ultimately, I think it should be a little cheaper. It really should. So to wrap everything up, is this box worth it? Is Lorcana's Illumineer Quest Deep Trouble worth your time? Absolutely. Is it worth your money? Maybe. And I say maybe because it is overpriced. If this was $30, even $40, I'll give it $40. I would say it's a must-have. Everyone should pick it up. But those are my thoughts on the new Illumineer's Quest that they're going to be rolling out. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot more. They're going to be fun. If you want to get your hands on one of these things, I do have links in the description. If you go ahead and order something from my Amazon link, it supports my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and I appreciate it. Everyone that's clicked on the links, I appreciate everything you do for this channel. You're the reason it's been growing the way it has. So again, thank you for all that, and I am going to try to beat this on extreme. So I'll catch everyone next time.